Episode 9 is often described as an all-out war and a war to end all wars, a film that'll have a lot of action in this movie by writer and director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing in this movie is exactly how the character of both Kylo Ren and Rey will progress 1 year after the events of The Last Jedi. In case you guys did not know, Episode 9 takes place roughly 1 year after Episode 8, which honestly I think is a little bit of a stretch. You know, they could have made it a little bit longer, like maybe 2 years, give or take. But anyways, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. However, when it comes to one of the set designs that will include Daisy Ridley and some extras, this is where things become very interesting, because one of which has all to do with Daisy Ridley is all set to shoot a sequence this January that will involve her to combat against Kylo Ren's Red Stormtroopers using her lightsaber. It's said to involve around 10 extras dressed as Kylo Ren's Red Troopers on a landing pad similar to the one on Mustafar, fighting Rey. Daisy Ridley is said to be hooked up to many pieces of wirework, and that her stunt double will perform many moves. These Red Troopers are described to be a bigger challenge than Snoke's Praetorian Guards, however not as aggressive as the Knights of Ren. Another sequence will involve Rey using the Force and force-pushing 3 extras dressed as the Troopers into a body of fire. There is one trooper in particular that has a jetpack and will use its blaster against Daisy Ridley, while the extra will be lifted by with wirework. It's described as a parallel between Obi-Wan and Jango Fett in Episode 2. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that's really getting me very pumped up for this movie and the types of action that we can expect to see in this film. So I don't know why, but I'm starting to think of this as the Praetorian Guard Battle 2.0. And the reason as to why I'm thinking about it like this is because these characters are described as having red armor. These are Red Stormtroopers, an elite force by Kylo Ren in his new order. So we do know that Supreme Leader Ren, as much as I like to call him that, and you guys may not like that, which is perfectly fine, we do know that he is going to be Supreme Leader of the First Order in this film, or whatever new order it's going to be. And that he actually will be creating a ton of different tiers of stormtroopers, as well as different weapon designs and starship fighters, etc. So the fact that Daisy Ridley's Rey will be combating against these Red Stormtroopers tells us that these troopers are no joke, and they will be a little bit of a highlight in Episode 9. Honestly, I cannot wait to see exactly what they're going to look like. We heard about this before in the past, that their helmets, by design, are very similar to that of Kylo Ren's, which honestly I think is a unique and different approach to a Star Wars film, where the actual stormtroopers appear to be more like its leader. It's kind of like this, imagining the original trilogy, if some of the stormtroopers looked more like Vader, you know, if you think about it like that. Now, the one that I do want to go over is how Daisy Ridley is actually said to be hooked up to many pieces of wirework, and that her stunt double will actually perform many moves throughout the sequence. So this tells us, again, it's going to have a lot of choreography, a lot of different moves. It is a risk for the actress Daisy, so that's why she has a stunt double on hand. The one that really does pop out for me is how one of the Red Troopers is actually going to have a jetpack. So, again, this takes us way back to Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, where we have Obi-Wan going up against Jango Fett. And it seems like JJ loves the prequels, and he's trying to create all these different parallels to that of Episodes 1 through 3, which honestly I think is very ambitious. I think it's not only ambitious, but I think that it's quite generous to do this, because if you look at The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, yes, there are prequel tones in there, but they're not quite as clear as it should be. So in Episode 9, that's one way, then just one way, that J.J. Abrams will be attaching this movie to the prequel trilogy era as well, is by embracing the concept of parallels from Episodes 1 through 3. So this Red Trooper that has an actual jetpack that will be shooting at Daisy Ridley on set, using its blaster, while Rey is actually deflecting the blast using her lightsaber. I gotta tell you guys, I mean, this sounds like an amazing sequence between, you know, Rey going up against these 10 actual Red Stormtroopers. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds like it's really going to be chaos to me. The fact that this takes place on a landing pad, an open space, if you will, I gotta say that's pretty unique as far as a battle goes between both Rey and the actual troopers that belong to Kylo Ren. And do note that this also takes place on a landing pad, just like Obi-Wan going up against Jango. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding. From night to moon, we hear their moans again. No.